All right, we're back. Got two tools for you guys this week. I'm going to try to keep these videos as short, compact, and informational as I can, save you guys some time. All right, so the two tools this week are some of the more important tools that you'll ever use in the work environment. All right, a lot of times you're going to show up to a job or you're going to be working at home, and either A, you don't have a table saw, or B, you can't afford one. All right, so how do you cut long boards? The tools today are going to help you accomplish that. These are pretty cheap tools. A lot of times you can buy them in a pack with like a drill and a driver or some other tools. They're extremely useful. My first couple of years making furniture for my house, I didn't have a table saw, and I used this one to help me create everything. Because it's a little bit more affordable and it's a little bit more work, but I think it's worth it in the long run. All right, so the first tool that I'm going to talk about that's more affordable and more common, something that you guys would probably end up using, is right here. Okay, so this is a circular saw. The saw blade looks like a circle and it's handheld. I can move it around. All right, the second tool I'm going to talk about today, you can't really buy it, but when you go to Menards or Home Depot to buy wood, a lot of the time you can use one of these at the store to like pre-rip your boards. All right, it looks like this. I'm sure you guys have seen it in the shop. It's this bad boy right here. Okay, this is called a panel saw because it helps you cut big panels like these. Right, so these are giant boards. They're all plywood. It'd be impossible for me to cut one of these without these tools. Right, the big old panel saw helps me get it down to a size where I can go over to the table saw or the miter saw and actually use it. Okay, so first we're going to take a look at the panel saw, and then we'll go over and take a look at the table saw. So here's the panel saw. All right, it's huge. I'm going to try to position this camera so you guys can see it all. All right, there's a lot going on here. There's a back wall. So we've got this back structure here. Then there's a guide on the bottom. And if you notice the guide on the bottom, there's some wheels. And then right here, you can see one really, really easy. There's that red kind of circle. Those are all throughout the bottom guide, and they help us kind of roll the big panel across so it's easier to cut. All right, I'm going to throw a big panel in here so you guys can see what that looks like. Okay, so this big old panel, I couldn't cut it using any other tool, but the panel saw allows me to do it. What? Let me go from this side. All right, so those little red dots on the bottom, those red rollers, help me slide this panel back and forth along the panel saw. All right, so we've got the bottom and the back that kind of support everything. Now we're going to look at the actual saw here. So the saw is mounted on these two big rails and allows us to push it up and down as we go. Let's get in here a little bit closer. All right, so here is the actual saw, and you'll notice this is essentially the exact same thing as our circular saw. All right, it's just mounted onto these railings. So I could move it up and down. Right now it's blocked by our board, but when I turn it on, you'll see how convenient this tool is. Okay, the way this works is there's a little red flip right here. When I turn this on, the blade will start, and I can pull the blade down through the board. It works the same as most of our other tools. When the blade is moving, there's a possibility of a kickback. On this tool, the kickback will actually shoot it back off that wall and like into your shins. So I'm going to be very careful when I'm using this tool to make sure that I don't touch any wood when the blade's moving. I'm going to wait till the blade stops to bring the saw back up to the top. All right. I'm more concerned with you guys understanding the circular saw than the panel saw, so I'll make this cut real quick and you can see what this looks like. All right, here we go. So I'm going to flip it on, make my cut, wait at the bottom, and then bring it up. If I plugged it in first. There we go. You know what? I think I might have to start the next video with this. All right, I'll start the second video with the cut, and then we'll move over to the table saw. All right, I will see you guys there.